Brings us to Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And off we go from Oakland. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Down, 185. Plus 50.
I got you. I got you.
Raider 2.
On first down, Carr. Blitz coming, and down he goes. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's second and 15.
Check 6-6. Bullet high.
They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Down, 180.
Mike 50. Here I come.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back in his home state, Royce Freeman getting the carry. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Freeman. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Ready. Mike 51.
Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. Well, so much for picking it up on the ground on third down. Third play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive, and he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M. And all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Let's go. Hey, let's get there.
29. 29.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Forced out to his left. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
He's brought down by Ryan Shazier. It's a gain of 4. Makes it
Down.
3rd and 7.
Ain't no way.
He's not going to get me.
Hey, high 7.
50's the mark. 50's the mark. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Throwing his car on third down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and
and
now they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out with that first drive. I'll try to do better here. The throw taken in by Hamilton. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards there, first down.
Let's go now. Let's go
First
now.
down, Broncos.
Let's
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 12.
Off the play fake. Love. And the Raiders have got him. Cleveland Farrell showing his strength and quickness there. A loss of 4. 3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction.
Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54 Mike. It's a party now. It's ready.
Operating from the gun. Love. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 37. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Got to do better. Come on, QB. Come on.
We're scoreless after 1. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Freeman. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Here we go.
Throwing on first down. Love. Johnson's got it complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. He'll find Lindsey here. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. From 13 yards out, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Carr to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Tyrell Williams, 77 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. It's a give to Freeman running right. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 45-yard line. No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
54, right there, right there. All day, dog. Mark 54. Hey, let's go. Ready, go.
On 3rd down, Love. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Cleveland Farrell with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. So that one will be accepted. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good. So they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to...
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Now. 180. We're good. We're 180.
Carr now to throw. Dancing to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Let's go, baby.
Their own 13-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, but it'll be second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Off play action. Love. They'll roll him out right. The big man, P.J. Hall, had the path to the QB there. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. That's taken on the 25. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
He'll get this to Eckler. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Carr. He's got White here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Throwing again on second down. Carr. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
You can easily see the logic. It's a tie game. They just wanted to press it a little bit right before the half, hoping to get one more score.
Now, easy to second-guess the result, but now you have to think after that interception, just a field goal, and they're behind at the break.
Yeah, I think at the half, the head coach just says, look, that's on me. I wanted to press it, but it's because I believe in you guys.
On 1st and 10, Love. They'll let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Right there.
Throwing again. Love. That one into the hands of Hamilton. And the ball is knocked out. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
Come on now, let's go.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers.
And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. Max Crosby just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. This is Freeman. And he'll power his way up near the 25. They get 6 yards back on the run, but still have a 3rd and long situation forthcoming.
Here we go. Set. 30 pace. Let's go. 1 QB draw. 1 QB draw.
From the gun, Love. For the catch made by Johnson. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
First down, Denver.
Set. Ready. 10 Lobo. Check. Hayward. Hurry. And go.
Operating from the gun. Love. It's caught by Bryant. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another first down with that run.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And that's complete to Sanders. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They go play action here on first down. Buying time to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Max Crosby able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
And a good job by the Raider defense yet again as they drop him for a 2nd straight loss. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Here we go. 10 Tucson. Watch 54.
the gun. Love. This is the tight end fan. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. The kick by McManus is good. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points. The roughing the kicker called on fourth down. What a big break. Leads to a 1st and 10. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams, and there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Back to throw. Love. And caught by Sanders. Touchdown, Broncos. Emmanuel Sanders there to make the grab. And the Broncos push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And he's able to get it up close to the 35, but hang on here. Penalty marker down. And this one might be going the other way. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league,
that's caught inside the 20. A big play that time for the Raiders. 59 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Running on first down, Eckler. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. Now on 2nd and 13, Carr. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. From 21 yards away, as they're now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. Back now in the East Bay. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Well, some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Love. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some.
61. Matchbox. Light. Twist. Log dog.
Second and 3. Steps away to his left. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 41-yard line. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Love. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. On a jet sweep, this is Johnson. And some room to run now. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A 22-yard scamper. And the Broncos push further out in front. Now McManus for the extra point.
No lead safe in the new NFL, but this score is really going to give them some needed breathing room.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Next to score, Broncos 24, Raiders 14.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
I'm coming after you. Shift. Raider 1.
Now Carr. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th quarter, going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard, realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Carr now on 1st down. Will find his tight end. That's Waller. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
6:37.
Hey, watch the ball.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Ryan Shazier picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
50, Mike 50. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
To throw on 3rd down. Carr being chased out left. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Derek Wolfe able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A big play there. 64 yards, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This one. Be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand-new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here, or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And his defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
It's caught. This is White. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Going on the ground with Eckler. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. He's back to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
White. General West. He's crossing. He's checking crack.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this one is right down Broadway. And with a little more than a minute to go, we are all tied. Now, we knew this had the potential to be a tight game, but with less than 3 minutes to play, couldn't be any tighter. We're all tied.
All locked up, right? And this next drive is going to tell us everything we need to know about this game, because I want to see how they come out with the football. Are they going to be aggressive and attack downfield? You still got the 2-minute warning to come up? Or are they going to be conservative and try and hold on and maybe just get to overtime?
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down.
Squeeze, get in there. Let's go. Ready.
On first down, Love. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Max Crosby getting him once again his third sack of the afternoon. He's got his big tight end, Fant. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Looking to throw. Love. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Max Crosby. Who else? He's in there for his fourth sack of the afternoon. Second and 13. The Sanders has got it complete. 4 quarters not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Get ready.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. What will they draw up to try to keep this opening drive of overtime moving? 3rd and 7. To throw his car. Going up top. And that is incomplete. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it, but they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. As a fan of the NFL, for an opener, you can't ask for much more than this overtime in Week 1.
I know it's hard to believe that some people may not have been watching our game, but I bet through social media they found out this one was snug and getting into overtime, and they flipped over here in a hurry. This is fantastic. If you're a fan of ball, you love these types of games. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
From the gun on third down. Love, left side here. That's the tight end Fant. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Back to throw. Love. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gigantic call there in overtime, but it pays off with a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. Even after the penalty, still a full 7 yards to go on third down. Operating from the gun. Love. Throw left side complete. It's Lindsey. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he is in for the score! And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Broncos, it was a game that could have gone either way, but they get the touchdown in overtime to secure the Week 1 victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
100-yard dash. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. They will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, the man. Oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. Yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't